Next scene. Xanna sighed, walked over to a nearby rock, and sat down on it. I'm so lonely right now, she thought, placing her elbows on her thighs to rest her head in her hand. She sighed again, and shook her head to get rid of the sad thoughts and replace them with more happier ones. Maybe if I start questing again, I'll come across someone who needs a questing buddy, she thought, smiling a bit as she folded herself like usual. Or you'll come across someone who'll say, yeah, look at your eyes, then say, no, now buzz off, and ignore you completely like every single person you've come across since you started questing a year ago, Izzy said in her usual negative and irritated tone. Well, the 1000th or so time is the charm, isn't it? Izzy rolled her eyes, folding her arms over her chest, letting out a light huff. Whatever you have to tell yourself, she said in her usual monotone. You can't ever let me have anything, can you? Xanna asked, her voice in the black void known as her mind, giving her a blank stare like she normally did. Nope, her voice answered, giving Xanna that oh so wonderful smirk that she loved so much. You know I don't like you, right? She replied back. Of course I do. That's why I'm still here. Izzy laughed at Xanna's annoyance. Well, I'm not gonna be put down by your negativity. She hopped off the rock and dusted off her backside. I'm gonna find a questing buddy, she said determinedly, pointing her right index finger upwards, smiling widely. Taking a deep breath, she began to march down the road to her right. That's the way back to Crossroads, you idiot, Izzy pointed out. Xanna stopped walking immediately, somehow making a halting car sound. Quickly turned back around, pursing her lips in irritation and embarrassment. I knew that. Of course you did. Oh, shut up, the girl replied back, a little steam line lightly fuming off her head from irritation as she huffed and began to walk again. I was just making sure you knew. Izzy smirked to the girl as she became more and more agitated. Oh, shut it. It's not like you know everything, Xanna huffed. No, but I do remember where you came from and where you're headed from when you last checked your map. When was the last time I checked my map again? Xanna queried, a few question marks appearing above her head, thinking on it. About 3 weeks ago, Izzy answered rather nonchalantly, filing her nails from boredom. Xanna's jaw dropped to the ground of her mind. Quite humorously. 3 weeks? How the hell can you remember what my map looks like from 3 weeks ago? Unlike you, I actually try to remember every detail of such things like that because it could save our lives, Izzy emphasized, staring at her host with irritation. Hey, I pay attention to some things. Sometimes. Shut up, the body hostess replied with slight embarrassment, trying to ignore her voice and keep walking to wherever it was that she was headed. Is that what you were doing when you stumbled into the Underlight mines back in Ghostlands? Her voice retorted in her damned usual smartass tone, folding her arms over her chest as she smirked. I had quest there, was the reply she received. And you didn't know that until after you had to run away for your life, laughing at Xanna's irritation. I still need to look up on some brain surgery, she grumbled. You need to watch where the hell you're going. You're gonna trip and break your damn neck if you don't, Izzy nagged, throwing her arms out in front of her, addressing that she was about to trip over a pebble. You damned idiot! I am perfectly capable of arguing with you and walking at the same time. Jeez, for such a know-it-all, you still sure can be dumb. I mean, I've been doing this our whole lives, and you still, Xanna nagged, being interrupted by her voice with an orc. What? She said in reply, quirking a brow, then began to spin in a circle, quite unexpectedly. As Xanna had been absent-mindedly walking toward Camp Tarho, an ever-so-polite green blur had run right past her, causing her to spin around in a circle. When he had passed, she was standing awkwardly, and her hair was quite a mess. Quite. Wow. Quite. Yeah, that word just basically got used back to back, didn't it? Was all she was able to say before more purple blurs had also made their way past her, causing her to spin in a few more circles and nearly fall to the ground, her ponytail holder just barely in her hair. Did I just see an orc getting chased by like 4 raptors? Izzy facepalmed herself, muttering things silently. Just go follow him and die.